recording, sharing my screen. Yeah, okay. So I have shared a scenario on Saturday, I guess. Did anybody try to attempt or did it? It's okay if you did not try, but if you face a problem, we can discuss something on that. That's why I was asking. I am audible, right?
Yes, audible. Yes.
Yes, yes, fine, fine. So I shared a scenario on Saturday. So please try it out to build a pipeline. They're just all the activities that we have already discussed only. So you can just try it out. If you face any issue, then we'll discuss. I don't want to just give the solution away before anyone trying. So just try it out. I think Prashant and you created your Azure account right on Saturday, Sunday.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, you have created. So everyone, please create your Azure account, start building these pipelines. If you face anything, so that practically we'll solve that. Okay. Then we'll go forward only with our new topic.
शशांक वन थिंग एक्चुअली मैंने मैंने अकाउंट क्रिएट किया था
Okay.
वो अभी वो उसमें ही है ट्रायल वाला फ्री सब्सक्रिप्शन में था
Okay.
बट मतलब मैं उसे डेटा ब्रिक्स से कनेक्ट करने का ट्राई कर रहा था तो उसमें कुछ आईडी का प्रॉब्लम हुआ तो मैंने सोचा कि इस आईडी से मतलब आउटलुक के आईडी से मैं डिलीट कर देता हूँ अपना अकाउंट और नया एक आउटलुक का आईडी बनाता हूँ और उससे करता हूँ तो
Okay.
जो मेरा पुराना वाला आउटलुक का आईडी है ना मैं उससे फ्री सब्सक्रिप्शन वाला डिलीट कर रहा था बट उसमें
हाँ,
वो 112 रुपए का वो मतलब उसमें मेरे को बिलिंग दिखा रहा है इनवॉइस तो
एक
उसके
सौ बारह में बिलिंग जैसा यूसेज का दिख रहा है पर दिखता है पर आपको डेबिट नहीं होगा वो।
अच्छा हाँ और मैं उसमें से अपना क्रेडिट कार्ड भी डिलीट करने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ तो वो उसको कर मतलब ये हो नहीं पा रहा है तो मैं आपसे एक बार कनेक्ट करूंगा उसमें
हाँ
मतलब
ठीक
थोड़ा
है
सा है
ठीक है, हाँ हम
और फिर
कनेक्ट
नया
करेंगे।
अकाउंट क्रिएट करूँगा हाँ
आज या कल हम कनेक्ट करेंगे, एक बार देखेंगे कि क्या हो रहा है उधर।
ठीक है ओके थैंक यू
श्योर श्योर पंकज। ओके। जस्ट a second guys. Okay, here's my screen. So today we'll discuss some transformations. There is this is my Azure Data Factory screen, right? So if you see, there is something called data flows beneath the data sets. Fine. If you see this, okay. So can create one, say new data flow, and this is the screen that appears. So data flows are used to transform data. So till now we did not transform data. We were just kind of choosing the sources, just finding out what where data is and all, right. So here we can with data flows we'll be transforming the data. Okay, so first for this, first we need to create a data set so that it can read the data from the source. Before that, what we'll do is I'll go to my storage account and upload some exam sample data. For that storage account, I'm using the storage account -22. Go to containers, input data. So I have something in my downloads folder, which that the data looks like this actually. So There is employee ID, name, department, salary, joining date, manager ID, and location. These are the fields in the CSV file that I am having. So I'll upload this CSV file to my storage account so that I can read it from there. Okay, so this my input data folder. So I'll add the file here. Oh, so files, employee data, upload. So this is a employee data. Copy. You go to edit and say preview. So this is the data that we added to this. Okay. Okay. So we'll create a data set first before going fetching the data into the data flows. So we'll create one new data set, which is we'll select it as Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2. So this is a CSV file. We are selling it as CSV. So we'll put this as data flow one only and select the same link service. So we are selecting the same link service because we have created the link service and it is pointing to the same storage account. So since it is the same storage account, you will have the same link service. You can use the same link service. So I'm using this and I'll point it to my input data container. So I'm pointing it to the input data container. I'll say OK. And when the data set appears here, you can again browse and select the file. Normally, when you select the file there, it gives you error employee data.csv. So it is pointing and it is picking up this file here. So what I will do, I'll close this data flow and I'll publish this. Okay. So this data flow one, the name of the data set is data flow one. So this is created. Now we'll create the data flow itself. Go to data flow, say new data flow. So it is asking to add a source. So I'll add this same source, same data set as my source. So it says add source. When I open this, you can see the pane here. It is asking for my source. So this is the stream. So it is like a pipeline. This is like a data flow inside a pipeline. So this is not an independent pipeline. Pipeline will create it here. As a part of that pipeline, we'll put this data flow. So here there can be multiple streams actually coming. First, we'll only start with single stream. We'll make data transformations here, and after that we'll see that how we combine data or what we call as join data from multiple streams. So here this is first stream. So output stream name it is asking as this. So you can name this whatever you want, like you are naming the activities whenever we created the activities, right? We named the activities the same way. You can just name this output stream name or description here. Then it is asking me for a data set here. So here I will say my data set is data flow one. For this only I created this data set. So this is my data set here. Okay. So there is one option called data flow debug here. If you see here right on the top. So if you have to switch on this, because whenever you switch on this, it will ask for a time, how much time to stay alive. I'll say 2 hours. What is the use of this data flow debug? So whenever we are building the logic here, right, we'll be building some logic to transform the data. We'll do some sort operations or we'll do some filter operations here to apply the logic and to see the output on the go. Actually, it will not write the output, it will not commit the output, but it will show me the output on the go when this data flow debug is switched on. So when it's switched on it, I'll show you when we apply a filter operation here, the output of that filter operation will be shown at data preview only when data flow debug is on. So this will be advantageous. So in the background, what this data flow debug does, it also again use that auto resolve integration runtime only uh, for this also, right? So now what we'll do is go to source options. We don't need anything. So all these you don't need to use as of now. When we use more logic on filters and sorts, we'll go and see. And if you come to the projection, it will just uh, uh, after this debug is done, if you say reset schema, it will fetch the data from the source and show you what are all the columns that are there. Let this debug flow. Okay. In meanwhile, to apply the transformation on the stream, say click on plus, and you have so many operations that can be done on the stream. So we'll start with a filter operation. You can find out where the filter operation is there, or you can just search it here. So when you say filter, okay, when you say filter, okay, it will give me the options here. You can name this filter, so you can put it as filter one only. I'm not changing the name. Incoming stream is stream one, so incoming stream is source one only. So this is the source for this filter operation. Okay, the filter on. What do you want the perform the filter on? So when you click on this, there is something called open expression builder. So click on this so that the expression builder opens up, and here you can define what is your filter condition is. So I'll just open my data in Excel so that I know what my filter condition is and all. So I want to filter out data where department is the HR. Okay, for all the HR people I want to filter out. So I'll go here. Okay, so it will give me expressions, right? You can find out the functions. You click on functions and say equal. You don't need to remember any code or any kind of expression. If you just go through the functions here, just put the name, it will give you how to use and all here only. If you are using the equals function, equals in the bracket, you will give the first expression, second expression. It will compare the both these things inside and give us true or false in the output. You can see this box on the right. If you can see this box on the right, it will show you uh, comparison equals operator same as double equal to operator. Examples, equals of 12 comma 24 gives out false. Okay, it's like that. So you can use equals like that only. So click on equals. Equals came here. So here I want to compare my columns, right? So I have to, I'll compare what column. I'll compare my department column. So department column. So data flow debug is ready. I'll just go back. Uh, just I can see just the, I'll go to source and I'll see the data preview here. If I refresh here, now I can check the data on the go after each step. If I see the data here, then it's good. And after each step, you can check whether the operation is applied or not. It is fetching data. Yeah, so here you can uh, see your data. Okay. This is your employee ID, department, salary, joining date, manager ID, location. It is giving me category, status, and error, which is not needed. You'll go to source settings, remove this allow schema drift, and you go to projection. And if you see here, you have all the columns in the projection. Employee ID, name, department, salary, joining date, manager ID, location, the same as in your source. Go to data preview, give it a refresh here. So now you got this. So it has not recognized the joining date format here. Go to projection and say joining date is date only. Why format? How is the joining date in this format? Okay, DDMMYY. Come back to your screen and say DDMM. Say refresh. It should apply the same to the join. So it has recognized the joining date also, right? So it is showing me joining date also. Now I can see all my data coming here. Now I'll go to filter operation. Now I'll go to the filter settings, enter filter, go to expression builder. The same way, I'll filter out using equals function. Click on functions and say equals, select equals, then input schema. I'll say department, my department, comma. I should say I want to filter out what department, HR. So this equals function takes in two arguments inside it. One is department. It will compare every item that is coming into department with the second one. If it is true, it will filter out. On the second one, I gave the HR as the argument. So I'll say save and finish. So here it is done. Now I'll go to data preview and I'll say refresh. So on the go, that filter is applied on the data and it will show me here. I did not run the pipeline or complete the whole thing. So here it is filtering out only HR department here and it is showing me. Actually, if I want to perform the whole filter operation, what I have to do is I have selected a source, right? I got the source. Now I have applied the filter operation here. Then again, I'll click on plus and what I'll select is my sink, the same sync. For the same sync, I have to create another data set and tell it where to write my data. Okay. So the same way for source, I have previously created my data set and I have got the source. For sync, I did not create, right? What I'll do, I'll leave the name as it is and I'll create a data set with this option new here. I'll say new, say Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2. I am just writing the same CSV file only, say continue linked service. I can use the same linked service. And where do I want to write? I'll go to input for input data only. And here I want to write into the dummy folder, or I am writing it to the dummy folder. Say okay. And if I say okay, you can just go to the data preview and see again. It is writing the same HR columns output would be shown here. We'll just see. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just okay, this is the, I'll just note down the data set, same data set. This is delimited text 6, right? Okay. I'll use the same data set for all other operations also for, so we are just using a simple operation. So for this filter, you can try out different expressions here. We'll be using it for different things. We have something called, if you go to functions and say greater, it will give me greater or small, is greater, something called is greater will be there, not there. Expression values, functions. Okay, calm down. We got equal. So we got a greater also, where you can find out between two values or greater than equal. If you want to filter between, filter based on some salary, if salary greater than 50,000 or 60,000, you can use same function. So they're all functions already built in this. And how to use the function, you will get the same thing on the right side box when you hover on this. So while doing other operations, we'll use other functions. We'll just go with this here only. What we'll do is we'll just publish all. When we publish this all, so this data flow is published. That's it, not the pipeline. This is just a data flow. In this data flow, my source is I have defined a data set. I am picking up the data from here. I am filtering out only HR department values, and I have defined a sink where it should write. So this is just my data flow. If I have to run this pipeline, I have to run this as a pipeline. I have to go to pipelines and say new pipeline. Okay, here I have to create my data flow activity. Okay, there is something called data flow activity, same as our copy data, our get metadata, or filter any. We create a different activity, right? The same way there is a data flow activity. In this data flow activity, you will point at the data flow you created. The same as data set, you have created data flow. In the data, inside that data flow, you have defined your source, sink, and filter. Okay. So the same way in the data, in this data flow, you'll point to that. You go to settings, you can name and description, you can give it here, go to settings, and here data flow drop down, you can select the data flow. What are all the data flows available in the drop down, it will show you. And we are running all the same integration runtime. This compute size is small. We can have a bigger compute size when you have a large data set. We'll come to larger data sets once we understand some of these filter operations or any other operations, then we'll take a use case scenario and have a bigger data set. We can use small for now. Go to parameters, there are no parameters for this. You can come back and say publish. So now we have a data flow here in this pipeline 8. So now we are just publishing it. We are just publishing the pipeline. We are not even running right now. So now when you say debug, this pipeline will actually run, and this data flow will, this via this activity, this data flow will point at this data flow. I mean actual data flow. This data flow activity will point at actual data flow, and this will run, and your filter operation will be applied to the source. So this is running. This is in progress. So that's how we do transformations. We'll see other transformations also that are available there. So if the data sets are minor, or if you have to just filter out on basic one condition, you can do transformation on Azure Data Factory. Otherwise, when the data is very large or you're doing complex transformations, generally you'll go to Databricks and do. Then there is a question, why do we want to learn transformation on Azure Data Factory? Because if you transitioning from one domain to another, or you're finding a new job on Azure Data Engineering, there would be questions in interviews based on data transformations also, definitely. Because so many people just ignore these data transformations because it is not generally used or widely used to transform data. We'll go to Databricks activity and use it there. So now this data flow is done here. We'll go to our dummy folder. We got our CSV file here. We did not put it any name, so we got it in some name only, and we say edit, and we can see our file only with HR department values. Got it? So this is how we do filter transformation using data flows. Now we'll build more data flows with more transformations. Close pipeline 8, we can go there. So this is one data flow. Let me create another data flow. Take new data flow. I'll add source, new source only. This is the same source. I'll use the same data set. Come down. This is the data set data flow 1. We'll discuss about allow scheme drift after this. Again, what where it is used. We'll be building up SCD type 1, type 2 pipelines. Then we'll use this and see. For now, we'll use simple ones only. So this is data preview. You can check your data is coming or not. Now add an activity which is called aggregate activity. So aggregate transformation. So when you come to aggregate transformation, you can see that the stream name is aggregate one, the same name here, description you can give. The incoming stream is source one. So it is getting data from the stream. So when you go to group by, you need aggregation is nothing but you have to group by some uh, by some fields here. So if you want to group by some fields, what I want to find out is I'll group by department and find out how many people are there in HR or IT department. Fine. So we'll come to this. I'll say it is still it did not fetch from the source. Projection, you say import projection. So source settings, I have removed this. I'll say import projection, then it'll get the data from the source. Okay, since it is not uh, detecting the date format, we will do this, or else from next time we will select the same data flow and do it on that only without wasting time. So we got all our data, same data, right? Okay. So we go to aggregate transformations and you say columns. When you click on columns, you see all our columns here. So I want to group by department only, by group by department, and aggregate. In aggregate, I have to give the new aggregation. So new, I have to aggregate, like if you are counting by department, I have to count how many employees are there in each department. So I have to create a new column so that I can put the count number there, right? So I'll give the name as count and say expression, open expression builder, and say column name is count only. Here my function would be count of, I'll see, my input schema would be department. Just a second, we'll see how count is used here. Functions count. Group by department, find count or expression builder. Department count, say expression. Now you go to functions count of department and say save and finish. And we'll go to data preview and we'll refresh. And we'll see what is the output. So we are counting by department. So we got in HR we got 3, IT we got 4, finance we got 3. It has counted in each department. So if you want to try something else, uh, or else we can count by location also. The same aggregation you can put it as count by location. We'll try count by location, and after that we'll use a different thing. Come to aggregate settings. Here department count is set. We'll say it as location count. Here we'll go to expression builder. Instead of department, we'll say location. We'll say save and finish. Go to data preview and refresh. Go department only, no? Okay, why did we get department? Go back, expression builder, location, input schema, select location, save and finish. So in group by, we did not change it here. Say location. Aggregates this, go to data preview, say refresh. Okay, we got a New York 2, CA3, Texas 3, right? Okay. Now what we'll do, go to aggregate settings, we'll see by columns, we'll find out sum of salaries or average of salaries, average. Hmm, what we'll do is, we'll select dip group by department, go to aggregates, average salary we'll go to expression and find out AVG of input schema salary, and we'll see what it will give me. Go to data preview, refresh. Okay, then by department it has aggregated and gave me the average salary for each department. So that is what aggregations, right? Okay, so we got HR. The average salary for HR department is 51,666, IT 72,000, finance is 61,666. So that's how we do aggregations. If you want to write this to the same file, you add your sync here, the same as the previous one. So add your sync here, give the data set. We have something called data limited 6. So we can just open it. If you want to specify a file name here, you can specify a file name so that it can write into a file name. So this is average salary by department, right? So come back here and you can say single partition. Whenever the large amount of data is there, when you say single partition, it will write into one file. If you are putting as use current partitioning, sometimes it may partition into more number of files. You go to data preview, refresh, check the data, and if you say publish, and you can use the same data flow in the pipeline and run the second, and you can do the same thing. Sync one result has zero output columns. Mapping. Yes, why is just a second, we'll see the data preview here and we'll go back again. So there we have two columns, department, average salary. Go to sync my sources, aggregate outputs in sync one, incoming string aggregate one, denominator 6, mapping. So input columns can output columns are name and salary, department and average salary. You can select the department name and salary. Data preview, refresh. Generally, it understands how the mapping is done. If it is not, if it's throwing an error, just go to mapping and see that it is done. So now it has understood what to map. So it is saying as name and salary. If you publish, and you can run on the same pipeline and it will apply this transformation. Okay, from next time we'll do it here only rather than going to pipeline and again running it. Fine, you can go to same pipeline. Flow delimited 6. This is CSV. If you go to this our pipeline 8, you have data flow, right? You can select data flow 2 here, and if you run it, the same pipeline will be run. Okay, so I'm not repeating the same thing. We'll see with more data flows. Create a new data flow, add source. My source is same file. Excuse me. Project projection. So we'll add before it runs. So we have something called simple things. We'll do it fast. There is something called sort. You come to sort and say sort conditions. You can sort the same data based on each column. Okay, you can go to this, select name and say ascending or descending. If you say ascending, you come to data preview, just see and refresh. If it is done, the same thing. You will just add a sync and you can run it through a pipeline. We'll not go much into this because it is again here it is not pulling up the joining date. You go to source and do the same thing. When projection in date, you give it ddmm by format, it will understand what to do. Now come here, say refresh. Now this time you'll get the date. That's what this refresh or data preview used for. Without completely writing, only you can just preview the data how it is being done. So here it has sorted by name. If you go back, do it by descending and again come here, data preview, say refresh. So now it is sorted by name in descending order. So you can sort name or any other thing in the same order. So the simple logic, right? So now what I'll do is after sort, I'll add something here only. So this is one transformation you're applying to the source of data. So you can add multiple transformations one after the other. What I'll do is now I'll add something called a select transformation. When I say select, what it'll do is we have uh, two options here. So select, right? It is my stream name is select. My incoming stream is sort one. So incoming stream, you're getting it from sort one. That's why it is sort one here. Okay. So when you come here, all your incoming data is shown here as sort columns. So in this, you can select what columns you want to keep and what columns you don't want to keep in this output. So if you delete here columns which you don't want, it can just be deleted and you can get only those things, right? And when you can rename the same column. When you say employee ID, okay, name is name department. If you want to put the name as department as DEPT, it will give you DEPT in the output. Say for joining date, you just want JD. It will give me JD. For manager ID location. If you want just location, you can rename this column. And if you want to remove manager ID, you can just delete it here so that only these will come. Okay, now you go to data preview and say refresh. So here first it has applied the sort operation. So all the names are in the descending order by name. Then it has selected, we have deleted manager ID and we have renamed the department column and joining date also. So it is here, it is there, right? So that's how. So you can so in this way, like if anybody has worked on SQL and all, you'll understand, right? We can do number of operational transformations one after the other. You'll understand based on the requirement. We'll understand what to be done first, what to be done later. So in the same way, we'll apply the logic and apply number of operations here. Fine. This is how sort and select. This simple only. Select will have only this. You can rename these things, or you can select only one or two, or what are the columns you need it here. Okay. So and you can see data preview here. Then add a sync here, and these two will be applied to the same data and it will write to the sync. Fine. So sort and select is good. What I'll do is I'll say next we'll do something called conditional split. Okay. If you on based on one condition, if you want the whole data to be written into two files, say when I see my data, I want all the HR guys going into one file and all other department guys going into another file. I can do using conditional split here. So there is something called conditional split. As and when I have added this, right, we got it two uh, uh, divisions in this. We'll define what should go into this division and what should go into this division. Fine. When I say stream names, I'll say HR department, and here in condition, I'll go to expression builder. I'll say same that equal is there, no? Our we have used equals of input schema department, comma, I want to get HR into this. Okay. So first branch I am defining as HR, wherever department is HR, that should go into this, right? And this one is default condition where rows that do not meet any condition will use this output stream. And it want to give me the name for this output stream. I'll say all other departments. Okay, so that's what you can go to data preview here and say refresh. So here HR department, you got a drop down here. When you say first condition is HR department, right? The name of that branch is HR department. So what all are going to come into HR department? It gave me here. If I select all other departments, what are going to my all other departments? It will give me. So this way I can have more conditions, more splits also here, right? So here I have used only two. So if you want more, you can say plus, and you can say departments, you can say whatever, we have IT department, right? So you can say IT department, go to condition expression builder, functions the same, equal I'll use, equals, and inside this input schema our department should be equal to, in this I'll give IT and say save and finish. So now I have three branches. This is HR department, this is IT department, this is all other departments. So this is defined, right? Now I'll go to data preview. I'll say refresh. So in HRE permit, what are all there? It is giving me. Now I'll select drop down IT department, and who all are there in IT department, it will show me here. And for all other departments, who all are there in other departments, it will show me in the next block. So there are only three departments: IT, HR, and finance. So it has divided into three only. Fine. So now here it has divided into three branches, right? Here after this, if you want something else to apply on the same branch, you can apply as it is, or you can write it to the sync, whatever it is. It has divided into t branches based on this condition. Here we applied only sort operation. Here we have applied select operation. Now we have divided this into three branches. All HR guys are here. If you want to add something here on the next step, you can add on the HR department output, right? So HR department output looks like this. If there is some requirement and that says I want people with salary equal to 50,000, you can you can add a filter condition here on this HR department branch. You can add, you can say filter. Okay, then you can say the same, in functions is GRE, where is greater, AT, creator of, in input schema I have salary, comma, I'll say 50,000. Save and finish. If I say for filter this, I'll see the data preview, refresh. So whatever salary, whoever salary is greater than 50,000, I could filter and put it here. So like this, we have different transformations here. We can add one after the other based on our use case. Okay, so that is how filter can be used. We already learned filter on the first case, right? So I have applied filter on this HR department. You can add something else on this. If you want to sort again, IT department guys, you can put a sort here. Or if you want just the name and department or just name and salary on IT department, you can put a select here on this branch. Can add select. And if you say you're so you are getting all the details, right? Here I want only say employee ID name, and I don't want department because I know it is IT. I don't want joining date, I don't want location, I just want salary. Then you come to data preview and you see. Okay, so you got only employee name and salary for IT department, guys. Okay, so you can use in combination any of these things, and you can get the required output. And after this, if you want to write this file to CSV file, you will add a sink here, and you'll create a data set. Or previously you created a data set or add it here. You can do either way. So here you can add a sink and write it to this. I was just writing a CSV file. Here you can create a data set that can write to SQL DB also and add it as a sink here. Only thing is, when you add it to sink here, it will ask for a data set in the sink. So in sink, you will select the data set, create a data set that will write to storage location also, create a data set that can write to SQL DB also, that you will select, and these files will be written there. So that is these combinations and all, it depends on the requirement, what are all you are applying on the incoming stream. One after the other you apply, and you'll get the output, and you can write to the output file. Fine, this is conditional split, this is filter, select and all. Now there is something called derived column. We'll see what derived column is. Uh, okay, let me delete this because, okay, after sort I'll say derived column. Say derived column. Okay. So in derived column, it will ask my incoming stream. Incoming stream is sort one only. So in add column, see, you can do operations on the name same column, uh, make some changes to this, transform that column, or you can build a new column name and uh, make some operations on a particular column and name it as a new column, right? So what I'll say is, how is my name here? All small letters, right? So what I'll say, I'll have a new column called new name, or I'll say upper name. Okay, in expression I'll say functions as upper, and I have to pass a string value in this input schema. I'll pass my name. Okay, so I have created a new column with upper name. This new column is created basically by applying some transformation to the existing column called
रात से
name.
करती है हाँ खराब पड़ती है
Okay, so
खराब तो
when I say data preview and say refresh, you got a new column called upper name where all the string is converted to uppercase, right? So everything is in uppercase, Jack, Ian, Hannah, Grass, and all. After sort, we have applied, so it is showing in the descending order. Okay, so if you want only this name and not this, you can just again, what should we add? We should will add a select here, and what we'll do, we'll remove name and put just have upper name only. We'll remove name here, go to data preview, see, you'll not have name and you'll only have upper name. So you can do transformations like that on your data. Okay, so that's how it is done. So what I'll do is, here derived column, I'll do something else, something meaningful. Okay, here I'll create a new column called country one, and in here expression I'll say something called, I have something called if. How is this if use? We have to give a condition. What I'll see is what my country column, my location column. So I gave country, right? I'll use location. I have two empty rows. For two of them, I don't know the location. So I'll give some default location instead of null for them. Okay, for this I have something called is null. In condition, I have to give if is null of. location. So how this IIF if works is you have to give condition. If true, what I have to give. If false, what I have give. If it is null, I want to give as give their location as something called SS. If it is not null, I'll give the same name as input location, whatever it is there, I'll give that only. So now I say save and finish. So wherever, since what did I do on location? If it is null value, it will give me SS, or else it will keep the same location thing. Okay. When I say save and finish, go to data preview, say refresh. So I created a new country, right? So where it is giving me SS for blank ones, or else it is giving me the same name, or else if you go here, you can create a new one, or you can have the same one also and come to data preview and refresh. You are making changes to the same column instead of creating a new column. If you select the same column there, the same condition will be applied there and it will be overwritten. So here you see the blank values, it got SS, and the other ones we got other values. Okay, so that's we are doing it. So after this, you will what you'll do, you will add a sync if you want to write it to a location. Add a sync, add this, and you can write it. Fine. So am I clear till now? We use filter, aggregate, sort, select, conditional split, derived column. So tomorrow what we'll see is we'll get data from three sources. We'll discuss between different joins and unions. Any doubts? I don't think there should be doubts today, but I am really asking you any doubts for today's class, in today's class. Gauss, are you following? You joined my batch today, right?
Yeah, yes, Ishant.
You have any
Actually,
doubts?
I have
You gone through the previous videos?
yes, I have gone through the
You
previous
have
videos.
you have any doubts?
Currently, no.
Okay, yeah. If you have any
Just
doubts,
just following
you can
you.
yeah, you can
Yeah,
ping me on WhatsApp also if you have any doubt.
Hi Shashank.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, Anil.
Yeah, if we deleted one flow, how can we retain that flow?
Deleted.
If we accidentally deleted one flow,
Okay, if you delete and you publish, it will
yeah.
not come back.
Mm-hmm. If I selected that sync flow, how can we retain again? Again, we need to construct. Again, we need to
Yes, yes. If you
add.
are if you delete and you say
Mm.
publish, it is gone for sure.
Mhm.
Here also,
Okay.
if you delete also, it will not come back. There is nothing called undo.
Okay.
You have to construct it here because you're constructing it here, right? So, so if you have created and say published, see, I have published already my data flow 2 and data flow 1, right? So even if I close my data flow 3, I have made so many changes, but it did not publish it. So it is not saved. Even if data flow 1, I have closed it, I have published it before it is closing it. So it is all saved. So if you want to save something without losing it, you have to publish it before you make any changes so that it will get saved. And without sync, it will not get saved. It will say, where should I go without the sync? No sync transformation found in data flow. So it will ask for source and sync. Without sync, it will not get saved also.
So you meant to say that we don't have any auto save option here?
Here you will not have any autosave option.
Okay.
You will have autosave option when we are using, like in future we'll go and learn how we are saving partial pipelines to GitHub and all. So there some autosave options can be used, but here there is no autosave option. If you want to save something, you need to publish. When we are having when we connect the repo and all, right, when we configure Git to this, we'll do that in later classes. And there, if you are just doing half your work with only some activities and all, then it gets saved to GitHub. But here it will not get auto saved when you are building partial pipelines or partial data flows. You have to complete this, or else if you work till now, add a sync here. Don't run it. Add a sync here and you can save it. Or else after that you can come and do other changes to this. Got it? That's what you are asking, right?
Shashank, one question.
Yes.
So, can we? I mean, when we imported the our source file, right?
Yeah.
Then we came to know that there are a date format, right? And you selected the date format also because it was
Yes.
not reading automatically, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
date format, right?
Because your voice broke, I got you to the date format. After that,
Custom date format, can we give custom date format?
should explore that. We'll see that also if you want. Say projection, specify format. It is not giving for a custom date format. You have to select between these. Or else you can do some transformations after this, but it's not that easy. It is you have to select between this because you're having all the formats here. Since this is date only, if you have a timestamp, I think it will get a different one. There is no timestamp here. We'll find out if you are getting a timestamp kind of thing. I think
Just
timestamp can
below
be
date, there is timestamp. Just below date.
okay. Then timestamp, you have more formats. If you are getting timestamp, yeah, you can change this. You can choose one of these, but there is nothing called new or anything to add.
Okay.
Okay, just understand these basic concepts. Don't go deep into these transformations only for learning and till interview only this will work. After that you're not going to do any of this that I am not saying not to follow this, but after that you're not going to do any kind of transformations in data factory because generally the data getting will be large and definitely you'll go to Synapse Analytics or Databricks to handle that data. What happens is compared to Databricks, this compute or integration runtime on data factory is smaller and may get stuck when the data is very large. It may run in a loop. It will take more time and all. So these kind of transformations and all, we'll pull this data to Databricks and we'll do it there. This works. This has its weight till your interview. So you will understand why I'll use coding only in Databricks, where I have this advantage of drag and drop here. When we go to Databricks, I'll show you how easy it is to code than doing this drag and drop operation. ठीक है, okay. Any more doubts, guys?
If you want to download the output data, so can you do that?
Your voice was low. You want to download the
Output data.
uh,
So can we do that?
you want to download to your system?
No, no, download the data, output data
Yeah,
in the
output data
table.
only. You want to download to your system, you're asking, right?
Right.
Yeah, here the file is there now. We are writing into the dummy folder. My output data. If I'm adding the sync here for data flow one, I have added sync, right? I was writing it to the data using this data set. I was writing it to dummy folder. This file, right? You come here, you have this file, you click on this, you have a download option here. You can download this data,
Okay.
right? So this there may be some restrictions in like real-time scenarios where these files may not be downloaded. That can be put by the infra team or the DevOps guys. They'll if this data is of prod data, right, production data, then there may be restrictions on your user access whether you can download it or not, or else the option is there to download. For now, you can download, but in real-time scenarios, different types of storage accounts will have different types of access for your for users, right? So if we'll have basically we'll have different data factories for different environments. Like in normal organization, right? You'll have one data factory for development, one for testing, one for pre-prod, one for prod. So each data factory will have a different access levels. If you're a developer, you'll be having somewhere till test, and after that you will not have direct access to data factories to get the data or to upload the data or to make any changes to the pipelines. It's all restricted there. So that way you may not download, but normally you will have option to download any kind of file and upload any kind of file. I just downloaded it. It came to my downloads folder.
So, like here, whatever data we transformed,
Yeah.
so that data will be present in this folder, right? Whichever you
Yeah,
created
yeah.
in the dummy.
I put it in this dummy folder, right? The data will be the file will be there in this folder. If I have to run this, I have to add the sync here and run the pipeline. I was just
So,
looking at the data preview here till now. I was not writing it. Only in the data flow one, which I created filter, and in data flow two, what I did, I created a pipeline, right? I created a data flow activity here. Here, this data flow activity, I was pointing at data flows. I have to create a data flow activity, point at that particular data flow, and then run this pipeline. Then only the whole execution will be done. Here I was just showing you what are changes can be done here. Here I have to add a sync here, then select a data
so
set, and then I have to create a pipeline, and on that I have to create a data flow activity, and this data flow activity should point at this data flow. After this, you publish and you run the pipeline, then the pipeline will run completely. Here I was just building this. I was showing preview only. It is not actually data which is written. It is just preview. Got me?
yeah, okay. So
That's what
actually,
you
in
are
the
asking.
under
Yeah,
yeah
tell
under
me.
data preview, we can see export to CSV file as well. We can see right the
Yeah, yes.
option.
Yes, you can export it. So this is not actually written as written, or it is not doing the complete operation. You can export it and you can see what you have done is correct or not. That way
Okay,
only.
okay,
Normally, everything is on cloud, right? We'll not be downloading to our system, or there will not be much use of downloading to your system and verifying the data. Everything will be, your source will be on cloud only, your destination also will be cloud only, right? So generally,
okay,
you don't bring the data to your system and verify it. You will not have option for that. Here you can do it because we are just building pipelines on a normal environment. Yeah, for verification and all, if you're working, you're practicing, you can export and see whether this data is right, what you have done right or not. That can you can do.
so okay. So usually in real-time scenarios, so once only we perform the sync operation, then only data will be
Yes,
available in the folder, right?
yes.
Okay,
You create a pipeline, you need to debug or run that pipeline, then you go where your sync folder is, the file is there, then the file is there. After the running the pipeline only, the file will be there. That's why this is called only preview. You are just previewing it. Actually, the data has not transformed. It is applying this and
okay,
showing it to you how it will look.
okay. So yeah, data transforming means like from one source to another source we are transforming here,
Yeah, source to
or else
destination.
within
Yeah, source to
destination.
destination. Your
Okay,
source would be, my source is this input folder, right? So I am taking the file from this input container here. I am transforming it and I am putting it this in this folder, dummy folder as this file. So
okay,
that is what this is my destination. I can have another container or storage account. Next time what we'll do is we'll create an SQL DB and we'll send that. Like the same way we have created our first pipeline, right? We were getting our data from source storage account and we were writing to our SQL DB, right? So
okay.
that way. Since we are just learning these transformations, I am maintaining the same source and destination in similar folders, or else it will be different.
Sashank, I
Yes,
have a doubt.
yes,
So transformation can be done using both data flow as well as Databricks, right?
yes.
So like how we can determine like when to use which one?
Generally, Databricks works like 50 times or 100 times faster than Data Factory data flows.
Okay.
Okay, so basically when you are taking real-time scenarios, you will definitely use Databricks activities only to transform data. You will only use data flows for only 5% or 10% times, not even 5% times actually.
Okay.
I needed to teach you this because you have to attend your interviews also. You have to know about this. There is some feature on Data Factory that does data transformations also. Just for the sake
Okay.
of it, you will learn just to clear the interviews. Or else you will not do any transformations as part of Data Factory.
Okay. Got it.
Generally, if someone is using cloud, right, generally the data is huge. You will have thousands of records, lakhs of records. You'll be dealing with those things. So then you'll definitely go for Databricks only. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
For these 10 records only, when I run the pipeline, it was taking 3-4 seconds, right? So our use cases would be like they wanted to process the same data, say thousands of records in 1 or 2 minutes. So our requirement would be like we'll be forced to use Databricks only. Or else data factory would be very cheaper compared to Databricks, but we would be forced to use Databricks for transformations for time purpose and all. Yeah.
So in real world scenario, we use this Azure just for ingestion data to database.
Yeah, generally, as I have told in my intro class, right? So the
Right.
main uses in current days, data factory would use for ingestions. What we'll do is, we'll get the data from some source, put it in our storage location. This is our storage location, right? This is our uh, data lake
And
storage.
we can
We'll
schedule it, and we can put some condition like if the particular name file is present or particular format is file is present, then run
yes,
the pipeline
yes.
only in just. So this is the main purpose of like
Main
Azure.
purpose, main advantage is when you are building these linked services, right?
Right.
So the first dashboard, there are so many linked services.
And
It would
and
be very easy when we are using Azure Data Factory. Whatever you choose, it will just ask for address and credentials, nothing more.
and we can easily schedule the pipelines. So this
Yes,
will be
yes, we can
beneficial.
schedule the pipelines. We can, when there are more pipelines, right? Here, when you come, now we have 8 pipelines. There would be conditions like my 3 and 4 should run after 2 has run, or 5 and 6 should run only if pipeline 1 has failed. Like those conditions will be there. Going forward, we'll see how to orchestrate them. So for orchestration, for monitoring what pipeline has run or not, at what time it should run, scheduling, all those, it is very easy to do in Azure Data Factory.
The main purpose of this is
Nowadays it is like that. Like 3-4 years back, uh, all whole of the pipeline was also built in Azure Data Factory.
okay.
There were complete pipelines, complete organizations completely done on Data Factory only 3-4 years back. But after Databricks became popular and people understood the efficiency of it, then they started using this in combination.
Right. So in Databricks, we use PySpark language to write the transformation, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. PySpark is nothing but Python only, nothing different. Only thing is we have Spark inbuilt functions. We'll use it there.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. Okay, guys, doubts. That scenario I have shared, please try to build the pipeline out of it. If you are facing any issues, you can ping me. Or else I'll do is I'll build that pipeline. I'll give you the solution. What I'll do is we have something to export on this data factory also. When you go to pipeline one, uh, download support files, or I'll see how we can export this so that you can just import the pipeline to your data factory also and see how the pipeline is there. That I'll see and I'll send you the I'll build the pipeline and see, but you try on yourself once so that you'll understand each activity, how it is working. You'll not use any of these data flows, but those activities we'll be using those filter or get metadata or until, because we'll be using those logics like whether the file has come in the folder or not. It should run after what it should stop. If the name is CSV, it should run. If the name is JSON, it should not run. It should get deleted. Those all conditions and things we'll use in our pipelines. So those you should not miss. This data flow is fine. you should not miss this also, but that you should really get used to using those activities. In the next class, we'll use more activities. We'll finish off these data flows. There are a couple of more transformations on these data flows. So we'll go fast with those. We'll have multiple sources, apply, union, exists, joins, and all on this. And we'll complete data flows in the next class. And there are some 5, 6 normal activities. Those also will complete. And by tomorrow, I'll like last time, I'll give you another scenario so that you can build a data flow applying these different transformations. Try that also. I'll give you a scenario. Try different transformations on the data. I'll give you data set also. By tomorrow morning, I'll send it to you. Take the data set, build the transformations, build some data flow on it. If you're getting it or not, or you're stuck somewhere using some function or expression, we'll see. Okay, guys. Any doubts? This is simple only till now. When we start what the other activities we'll learn, then we'll start using real-time scenarios.
Shashank, Vilas, can we
Hi-
meet for some time tomorrow or
Uh,
do office temporary?
Daytime Vilas or what time? Yeah, you ping
Yeah,
me. We'll make some time tomorrow. Ping me on
sure.
WhatsApp only. We can schedule a call.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Yes, Vilas.
Mostly it will be in the second section of the
Sure, Vilas. We
sure.
can meet.
Okay.
Ping me. We can make time. Okay, guys. Then I'm stopping it here. If you don't have any doubts, I'll give you a scenario. Please do that. And after learning more activities, we'll start with real-time scenarios. That would be more interesting. It is still like primary school section till now.
Okay.
ठीक है guys. Bye then.
Bye.